break the bars of a mental prison. Vere moved through her mansion like a ghost, a perfect, elegant specter. Every curve of her beautiful Indian black features, every strand of her gorgeous hair, every silk gown she wore, screamed old money, privilege, perfection. Aubrey, her husband, stood by her side, a handsome facade. Before their vows, their love had been a palpable thing, a vibrant flame that promised an eternity of passion. She was the picture of refined professionalism, her life an exquisitely curated masterpiece. Yet, the air in their opulent home was heavy, thick with unspoken truths and the suffocating silence of a love long dead. The transformation had been insidious, a slow, painful unraveling. The silk gowns were replaced by clothes that hung on her frame like rags, a faded kerchief permanently tied around her head. Her once lustrous hair was unkempt, a casualty of neglect, and the cigarettes, 1-2 packs a day, were her only solace, the acrid smoke a desperate attempt to fill the gaping void in her soul. 3 years of Aubrey's casual cruelties, the whispered phone calls, the late nights, the credit card statements that screamed of other women and lavish spending, his dismissive glare whenever she tried to speak. He gaslit her until she questioned her own sanity, isolated her until she had no one. She felt like a wilting flower, slowly dying under a relentless, uncaring sun, the bitterness a constant taste in her mouth. The outside world saw Vere as the epitome of grace, always impeccably composed. Her smiles were practiced, her laughter light, her conversations flowing with effortless charm. No one could guess the torment that lay beneath. It was a performance, a relentless charade to maintain societal expectations, to protect the fragile illusion of her perfect life. But the moment she returned to the mansion, the mask would shatter. The opulent walls of her home now felt like the iron bars of a prison. Each antique furnishing mocked her confinement. She was dying inside, her spirit eroding with every passing day. The fear of transmitted diseases, a silent terror born of Aubrey's betrayals, gnawed at her, convinced that one more blow would send her spiraling into complete collapse. Aubrey excelled at the public performance. At their frequent, lavish parties, he would transform into the loving, attentive husband, putting an arm around Vere's waist and whispering a tender word. Among the throng of powerful figures, Vere often found her eyes drawn to one, Marcus Thorne, a brilliant divorce attorney. He treated her with genuine respect, a stark contrast to Aubrey. She secretly admired his integrity, knowing deep down that any thought beyond platonic friendship was an impossible, forbidden fantasy in her current gilded cage. Their silent understanding, however, was a faint, warm ember in her frozen world. Upstairs, the horrifying drama unfolded. Aubrey cornered Vere, his voice a low, venomous hiss. When she pleaded with him to stop, he hit her, then turned to leave. "Why don't you just divorce me?" she choked out, raw with desperation. Aubrey spun back and backhanded her across the face, sending her reeling. As he lifted an ornate statue, Vere screamed. Hidden behind a column, Marcus Thorne was frozen in terror. Aubrey lowered the statue, his voice chillingly clear. "Why would I divorce you when I can have it all and still be married to you? I will never divorce you, and you will never have all our money to yourself." Vere's sharp, scared response, "That money belongs to me," was met with his mocking laughter as he descended the stairs, leaving her a broken heap. The morning after, Vere met Marcus for coffee. She recounted Aubrey's cruelties and his terrifying boast. Marcus, grave and regretful, confirmed the difficulty. Aubrey is deeply entrenched. His friends are judges, senators. It's a near impossible fight. Vere felt the bars tighten, yet her conviction remained. "I want these chains and bars removed from my heart," she declared. "I want happiness, true love, respect, peace, and family. Just then, a text arrived from Miss Albright, her former maid, the one she saw at church. "I have something important to tell you. Let's meet at church this Sunday." The path to freedom was dangerous, but Vere now had two unexpected allies. In the quiet church, Miss Albright wept as she confessed. Aubrey had murdered Vere's parents and the family driver years ago, staging an accident and burying the body on the property, protected by corrupt local police. He had threatened Miss Albright's family into silence. Vere's world tilted with this terrifying truth. Then came the revelation. Miss Albright's children, Mark and Savoy, whom Vere's parents had helped through school, were now a criminal lawyer and a judge in the same town. They had strategically changed their names and infiltrated Aubrey's circle, waiting for this moment. "I have the clothes he wore that night," Miss Albright whispered, revealing the irrefutable evidence. The chains around Vere's heart were forged in blood, but she finally held the key to breaking free. Vere, Marcus, and Mark Albright convened. The preserved, blood-stained clothing transformed the case from a difficult divorce into a guaranteed murder conviction that would shatter Aubrey's entire network. Marcus was energized. Mark's firm moved with surgical precision. Vere agreed to one last, terrifying performance. She would wear a wire during a final social event at the mansion, subtly provoking Aubrey to confirm his crimes on tape. Her former elegance was now a weapon, a shield of composure protecting a will of steel. The final, lavish party commenced. Vere, stunning and resolute, led Aubrey to a secluded study. As he boasted of his power and his crime, confirming his motives and the horrifying details of the murders, he fell right into the trap. The doors burst open. Marcus Thorne and Mark Albright, flanked by federal agents, stepped inside. Aubrey's face was frozen in shock. But the final, crushing blow came as Judge Savoy Albright stepped forward, her gaze absolute. "Mr. Thorne has the charges. This court session is adjourned, Mr. Sterling." As Aubrey was led away, stripped of his power in front of his corrupted peers, Vere stood tall. The smile that touched her lips was not fake. It was the magnificent, profound relief of absolute freedom. Vere sold the mansion, a symbolic shedding of the gilded life, and used the rightfully restored family fortune to found the Phoenix Center, an organization dedicated to helping survivors of psychological and financial abuse. She achieved true self-love and profound purpose. The knight in shining armor was the faith, courage, and resilience she had discovered within herself, riding in to save her own life. The final image is Vere, radiant and elegant, standing confidently in her center, extending a hand of hope to a woman trapped in a silent prison. The chains were broken, the bars were shattered. Vere was finally free. Vere sold the mansion.